In 3, 2, 1, welcome back to another episode of Matter of Fact with the Modern Day Hippies. I'm Tommy, here with Rob, per usual. How you been, man?
Doing good, man. No complaints from me. Back again for another episode. I think this is going to be a crazy one. It's
a lot of crazy week.
Crazier than normal.
Very crazy week. Just to give some updates on the business and stuff for everybody who cares about that. Things are going good. We did a pitch last week, got that, so got the funding for that, so to get some subscriptions, got some new lights, which we're using today on the pod, getting some new camera equipment, so stuff's going good, getting more clients, all that good stuff, but all that doesn't matter, which brings us to our first freaking segment of the show, shit that doesn't matter, but is definitely fucking crazy. A lot of crazy shit went on since literally the day we ended, like right after we ended the last podcast, like an hour after that. It got pretty crazy, which we'll get more into later on. But, starting off, these Bitcoins, these crypto coins, all this stuff. So, the Hawk Tua girl?
Yeah, she's famous now. Everybody knows
I don't know how
everybody knows
she's famous from an interview or whatever, but apparently she came out with a meme coin called Hawk. I don't know much about this. You want to fill in the people of what actually happened?
So it's kind of a meme in itself that people say, like people like this. Once their like first 15 minutes of fame runs out, they kind of go to like cryptos and stuff like that. But that's what she did. She didn't do it. She's not like, doesn't have that intelligence level and knowledge about crypto. But somebody got with her, made sure this is gonna go down.
Yeah.
They launched this coin. I don't know if everybody remembers, the Sam Bankman-Fried, FTX, all that shit.
Of course.
Yeah. So there was this guy, CoffeeZilla. Remember him?
Yeah.
So he hopped on this, and he's like, bro, I know how to look at this stuff, and he saw that they were charging like really crazy fees. He's trying to say, who's getting these fees? It's probably her and her team there. And this coin like shot up to like a crazy amount in like 20 minutes. And once it did, boom, all these insiders or snipers or whatever sold it, wiped people out. And you could see, like, if you look at like the background of the coin and stuff like that, the amount that was actually offered to the public was only like 10% or something. So they're buying all that, but really 90% is owned by these other people. So once they sell their 90, your 10's going to be literally zeroed out.
Yeah, literally.
But
that's how these rug pulls work. Okay.
Yeah, that's how they work. And there's tons of them, but, if you're already famous and then you're kind of using your name to do it, it gets a lot of attention that way. So I guess she has fans, diehard fans. Some people said they invest their life savings in that shit.
Honestly, if you invest in that shit, you're a dumbass.
Exactly. I agree with you there.
I don't even know why that bitch is famous. So
it's like it's your own fault. You know what I heard though as well is like she has one of like the top podcasts right now, like female podcasters after Call Her Daddy. I think she's number 2 right now. I don't know. I never heard of it, but somebody said that is true. Because they're like, what?
She's probably like 2-3 episodes in, so it's like it's easy when
fresh.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man. What do you think? You think she goes to jail? You think she gets in trouble for this?
I don't know. Like, can you plead incompetence? Because I'm sure this bitch didn't know what the fuck was going on. But
facts. Somebody didn't know.
I really don't know. I don't know much about this rug pulling crypto shit. I just learned how the fuck it actually works when you just said that. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. But honestly, I don't really care what happens with this bitch. I don't care what happens with your money. If you invest in that shit, you're stupid. I really just don't give a fuck. Honestly. But that is crazy. It's crazy. I think it's more than the fact that happened, because rug pulls happen all the time. The fact that niggas bought it, I think that's the spectacle we look at here, to be honest. Yeah. There
was like an interview. It was like on CNN about this. And the dude's like, yeah, I put my whole life savings into it. I was like, I couldn't tell if it was even real. You know what I mean?
You think he was like serious?
Just fucking around being like, like, that's stupid, bro. Did you really do that? Like,
I
And he's
hope
like,
not.
yeah, I didn't expect him to get rich quick, but I did think it would appreciate value over time.
For what?
It's like, for
Was it
real?
like an old dude or
No, he wasn't
a
that
young
old. He was
dude?
probably in his 30s or something. Yeah. Crazy, dude. You
I
know?
mean, what value does that bitch have to society? Let
Nothing.
alone the coin fee.
But like a lot of people don't know about crypto, and these people, they actually said that their goal was to get the normies, the people that don't know about crypto. So
so they
trying to
looking at
prey on
Bitcoin.
people.
Bitcoin just hit 100K. They like, fuck
Exactly.
it, we trying to get on the
That's-
next shit.
Yep.
That's retarded. Niggas are
And
stupid.
a lot of people did that back in the day too, when there was a big run on all these different coins, because people thought there could be another Bitcoin. You know, which I doubt, but I guess we'll see.
And we can hope. So keep looking, y'all. Keep getting these rugs pulled so I don't have to.
Right.
Another big but crazy news. Jay-Z was accused of raping a 13-year-old alongside Diddy with a female unnamed celebrity accompanying them.
That one on the
And you know, usually, you know, niggas like on Twitter and like TikTok, they'll come up with these conspiracies and saying, but the reason it's on our show right now is because Jay Willard Zeta, no, I don't know, that's not his name, but Jay-Z, he replied, like right away. Came out fast as fuck with that reply. I didn't even know an accusation was out until I saw his reply. I was like, what is he talking about? You can tell that nigga wrote it himself in his notes app off his phone. Yeah, what do you think about all this? Like, you was around and like you was like in college when all this supposedly was going down, right? So can you speak to, because I know people were like, Jay-Z would never do that, the type of person he is right now, yeah. I'm like, all right, y'all gotta think about the type of person he was. Exactly. So I don't. So what was it like during that era? Because y'all are roughly around the same age, ish, kind of in the same generation.
Yeah. Well, so there's one thing. Like, what was it like in that era? Like, in terms of, I can't tell you what his lifestyle was like, because you know that's the thing is like when you are that wealthy, and it doesn't matter, especially if where you come from nothing, and then you have all that money and you can do anything. You know, that ability to do anything is very tempting, especially when that anything is literally anything.
Literally,
you feel like you can do that. You know, so I don't doubt it. You know,
you think he did that shit?
There's stories. I wouldn't doubt it. You know, I would believe it. You know what I mean? I don't like the weird thing is that I don't know personally. I think that's like really like that's like a extra level of fucked up type of thing if you're into like kind of like little kids. Which, like, 13, I'm assuming, who knows, maybe she looked mature. You would hope so, because other than that, that's, like, really weird. That's, like, pedophile type of shit.
You
And
want to know some crazy shit?
I don't think would be cool with that.
The football coach I went to 3 high school, but the first high school I went to, when I was at the longest, football coach there, I knew this nigga. Just got arrested, blasted on Twitter. You might have seen this shit. For having sex with for basically grooming an underage girl under 16. He making sex tapes with her, picking her up from her parents' house, dropping her off. That nigga's in a polygamous relationship, got a wife and kids. He said he had a fetish about acting like he was the girl's actual daddy. Some crazy fucking her in the office and school. I've been in this office, like, and the crazy thing is like, this school is crazy. This shit's been happening for so long since I was there, except it was a female teacher's fucking the male students. So it's like, wow, bro, like that's actually insane. But you know, to your point, you know, I think like you said, when you get all that money and out of nowhere have all that power, you know, like, and you go at a Diddy party and you trying to be like Diddy, it's like you might do some shit like that. And I mean, I don't know if he did do it or not. I think, you know, I'm along for the ride to see what the fuck ends up happening. But I will say, I don't think Jay-Z goes down like this. I don't think this going to take him out for one. And two.
So the thing with this, though, is he was just named in the civil suit of Diddy. So it's not like actually they're coming after him for anything in this instance. They're just saying, yeah, he was there and he did this. And it's a civil suit, so it's not even criminal, you know? And that's the same thing with the Diddy right now. Is his stuff is civil, other than the federal government is actually after Diddy for thinking that he's doing something extra crazy, which
For sex trafficking, right?
sex trafficking and all that crazy stuff that went behind all that. So yeah.
All I'm gonna say is, whether Jay-Z did it or not, if he did it, that's crazy, and that's not a good thing, obviously. But all like deep state conspiracy shit aside, if we're just looking at Jay-Z face value and what he's doing as a husband, as a father, and as a man in 2024, if he did that shit 25 years ago, I don't know. Do you think he should? What's your opinion on shit like that? Like, niggas did some shit when they were like hella young, from 17 to 20, completely changed their life. Whether they found religion, just actually became a better person, whatever. Completely rehabilitated, but 30 years later, it comes back and bite them in the ass. Do you send that person to jail? Because it's not really doing anything good for society.
Nah, I mean, so I don't know, something like that. Probably like the statute of limitations shit is probably passed. Like I don't think you know what I mean.
Yeah, or let's say murder. 30 years after the fact, he's a completely different person.
It's maybe a little different.
Yeah.
But no, I have my best friend actually. He was a wild dude. I mean, we were wild. Everyone, not everyone, I guess. I mean, I was probably a little crazy.
Enough people.
Tommy's a good kid. He goes to Lehigh and all that shit.
Bro, I was fucking wild.
Yeah. Well,
in high school,
I was college. It only got crazier for us. You know what I mean?
Ain't been too
that's
crazy
the
in
thing.
college.
Because high school, we were pretty crazy, but
I was like hella
college
crazy
was
in high
just-
school though.
yeah, we were.
I'm
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure. Like, but me and my buddy, we was wild.
You gotta remember, I'm the YN era.
He used to. You could get away with a lot more back then too, though.
Yeah, that's fact.
You know what I mean? So that's why you could be a little crazier, and even the generation before me, they could do even more wild shit. So like that's the thing too. So,
But I'm just saying, remember that my generation birthed the YNs that you see in Philly with the fucking ski masks on in 80-degree weather. Like, so don't think we ain't do shit.
well, yeah, that's certain people in certain areas, of course. But
I'm from the city.
But yeah, but what I was getting to is, like I said, he did a lot of wild shit, and got caught for some of it, and got a little record, and now like he's a father of two young daughters, he owns his own business, he works with kids and all that stuff, but technically he would be barred from buying and owning a gun, because of his past, whatever he did. So he had to like appeal and shit like that because he's a different person. Like, and what he did was like, I think it was like retail theft or something like that. They got him on. Yeah.
So can he get a gun?
It's like going through the process.
It's still
it's a
going
long
through.
process. He has to get like approval from like, I don't know, it's like the senator or governor or something crazy. You know what I mean? Really,
Yeah.
it's like high level shit. Like, okay, no, I read your thing and I believe it.
And how long ago was this?
Oh, he was like 18, so I was like, like almost 20 years ago.
Yeah, so that's why, like, in Jay-Z's case, if he did do this shit, I mean, obviously it's not the same thing as like robbing a store.
Yeah, much worse.
Much worse, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I think that's just a larger conversation people have to think about. Like, how long do you think it takes a person to change? Is there things you can come back from, or is there some things like, nah, it don't matter how much time or what the fuck you do after that, you're this person forever? I think that's just like a larger, more mature conversation you gotta have with yourself and your friends to see where you kind of fall on that. But we'll see what ends up happening with that. We'll keep y'all updated. Do you hope Jay-Z gets off?
Well, they're not going after
Well,
him
do you
yet,
think
so-
that...
so,
well, all right, let me phrase that. Do you think there will be a new case against Jay-Z himself?
Nah, I don't. I think whoever they're gonna try with, it's like the same guy who's doing the Diddy one is obviously, because this one is still the same one, still the same case. So I mean, if he wins it, maybe if he gets some bread, and that's what he's trying to do. But it's gonna be some he said, she said type of stuff. It's gonna be hard to have like evidence. It's so old. I don't know. I think it'll just fade out.
Word. I mean, yeah, we'll see. In other news, as we told y'all a couple weeks ago, Lehigh, they entered the playoffs for the first time in a minute. They won last week, but they lost this week to Idaho, which I'm still like, why the fuck they even play them? Yeah. Idaho lost to Oregon by 10. And speaking of Oregon wins the Big Ten. Arizona State wins the Big 12. They were both Pac-10 teams. First year in these freaking divisions, and they win them. This is the first year of the playoffs. We'll see how that goes. But what do you think that means for the future of college football?
Yeah, I mean, you got to think about that, like, because obviously the Pac-10 was probably a decent conference if they're coming into a new one and they're winning their shit. You know what I mean? Like,
so you think it was
those
wrong
were
to get rid of it?
They went to the powerhouse conferences and they won. It probably was. I mean,
I don't understand.
It's gone forever, right?
Like,
it's gone forever.
Understand.
So it's not like you can go back. Like, oh, let's bring it back, man. You know what I mean? So that's a huge decision that they made. I don't
understand the whole division.
It is hard to understand in a lot of ways. Historically, it was based on, it was more regional. But then as things went on, they started like expanding it. You know, like and picking up different teams, and they have different cable deals and things like that, and different amount of money that they can get then. So the thought was that the Big Ten, which is historically like Ohio State, Michigan, powerhouse teams that have a lot more history than a lot of these Pac-10 teams, So I think that's a big factor. And the same thing with like the SEC. I mean, they were winning all the national championships with Alabama, they have Florida,
they dissolved that too? The SEC?
So yeah, that's the major conferences now are the SEC, the Big 12, and the Big 10, which is like 12 teams now. So it's all about money, but you gotta think about that. Like, I don't know why the Pac-10 didn't work. Like, all the history behind it, it just stops. It's kind of dead now. So kind of sad in a way, but I think that the playoff's cool though. I'm down for that. I think it's fucking awesome. 12-team playoff. First time ever in college football that they're doing this. You got to pick, Tommy? You take any bets? Who wins it all?
Well, I'll just say my opinion on all of this. I think Americans are really, history with football. American football is very short, and it's great that American football is an American sport because we can fucking make up rules. We made this shit up.
Over 100 years.
We don't even got 50 or 60 fucking Super Bowls yet. So,
college football before that though.
Bro?
Yeah, where do you think the players came from?
Anyway,
college football.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying. It's over 100 years old.
I mean, I don't even know who's in the playoffs. I don't really follow college football too much, but I'll watch a game when they come on because that's the type of I like just watching games. I don't really follow that closely. I'm not that invested, but kind of transitioning from shit that doesn't matter to shit that does matter. We're gonna talk about deaths. We're gonna talk about a lot of deaths, and before we get to the one you guys are all thinking of, I want to talk about the Syrian regime change because the president he escaped to Russia. You want to fill the people in on this whole situation?
Yeah, so that's pretty wild. So, I guess a bunch of like militia groups banded together and said, we're going for it. We're going to overthrow this stuff. Some people said the U.S. was involved in this as well and making it happen on the covert side. But they took the capital city of, I think it was Aleppo and Damascus in Syria. And their president is Bashar al-Assad. He's been there forever. His daddy was the president before him, like that sort of shit.
Was he like a good dude? Did niggas like him?
Nah.
Oh.
Nah, he wasn't really a good dude. There was, pros and cons to everybody, I guess. One thing they said is, like, he protected, like, Christian people in Syria, which may not happen because, like, some Muslim people just like, oh, I'm going to kill you. But, the person who took over, who's, like, a former Taliban dude or whatever, all kinds of crazy shit, Al-Qaeda, he's like, nah, let women wear whatever they want, and, hopefully they can keep that peace right now. Who knows what's going to happen, but craziest shit. So, yeah, dude left. He's in Russia now. He's probably, retired, I guess.
But the Russians accepted him? Were they
yeah,
allies?
Yeah. They've been boys. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Russia was helping them a lot. But Russia's busy now with Ukraine and all that. So it's like, I'm sorry, you got these insurgents coming. We can't stop them for you. Where previously they probably would have. Because Russia had a lot of troops in Syria, but they couldn't keep that up if you're fighting Ukraine. So crazy, but yeah, I don't know if anybody saw. You gotta check the videos. I don't think you saw them, but they overthrow this government pretty much. You know what I mean? This government's been there forever. They have like all these prisoners and stuff. So these people are going through opening these jails and be like, yo, you're free. So people hadn't seen the light of day in like 20 years. There's little kids in there that their whole life they were born of rape and. Raped by the guards or whatever, and just like lived their life.
That's crazy.
Born and raised in the cells. People were running out like, "What happened?" Like the regime fell, and they're like, "Oh," It's like I don't know. It is insane that happens.
That's happening right now on Earth when you're alive. That's like what's so crazy about reality is that like shit like that is happening right now.
Doesn't seem real.
But the shit that we think that's going on is like, oh, life is finals or life is fucking, work or what. Like life is so different and so crazy depending on where you're at and what you're focused on. And a lot of times people are just focused on the internet, aka really social media, and they think that things are either they're all usually all in their own bubbles. They think things are one way. Like take the election for instance. A lot of people on the left thought, of course, Kamala's going to win. Everybody's fucking talking about Kamala. Of course, like how the fuck could Trump win? And then they got surprised. So you think reality is one way, but there's crazy shit like that going on. Imagine being a person in Palestine right now. There's crazy shit like that going on.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine being a soldier in Ukraine right now. Imagine like imagine being a little kid in the Congo, Dominican Republic of Congo, mining for fucking cobalt so you can have your fucking new iPhone 16. Like there's crazy realities going on every single day, the same day you're waking up. So make sure you appreciate every fucking moment. That's a matter of fact. But what do you think about it? Like, do you think this is like something on the horizon we need to be looking out for? Do you think like, what do you think happens in Syria? Are they still buddies with Russia after this? Or are they
no, not necessarily, because like. So some people said the U.S. was involved, like with like CIA level like shit, like to make it all happen. It wasn't like our troops did it, but like we helped them.
What you think?
I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I mean? Like we would do that sort of stuff. But who knows what's gonna happen next? I'm honestly curious because then Israel went in there and started bombing shit too. So Israel's bombing Syria. They're bombing Palestine. They're bombing Gaza. I mean, Lebanon. They're fighting like everybody in the world. Iran, all of them at the same time right now.
They're not fighting everybody in the world. They fighting everybody in their little world.
In their little world, but like that, like
they little.
And they keep picking a new one. Like it's like, oh, see, we're coming in. It's like really. It's like I don't know. So that's a little odd and kind of. I don't know what's gonna happen there. Cause we're funding all that shit. Technically, that's our taxpayer dollars. Pretty much every bomb they drop because we give them subsidize all their money.
That's facts.
Not a fan of that, but.
That is a matter of fact. We talk about all the bread we sit in the fucking Ukraine. Ooh. Israel been quietly running their pockets. Mm-hmm. But, we don't want to get tagged on this channel. So, we're going to move on from that and move on to more important things. Not necessarily important, but important to y'all because this is what y'all been talking about. People women have been like daydreaming over him. He's the man. He's the myth. He's the motherfucking legend. Luigi Magaroni. That's Italian?
Yeah, he's Italian, man.
Shit, he probably got mob ties because he's a mob
man
man of his fucking own. Took out the United Healthcare CEO last week. Almost lasted a week. He just got caught, yesterday or today?
Yesterday.
Almost lasted a week. That shit happened right after we finished our podcast last week.
Pretty much. In the morning. Next
So,
morning.
no, that night.
It was in the morning it happened. He died in the morning on the way to a conference thing.
Oh. Yeah. Well, a lot of people had a lot of mixed feelings for him, but I saw a lot of positive shit for him. Niggas liked him and all that shit. But what do you think about this guy? He was able to leave New York City, escape New York City, probably the city with the most cameras in America.
Yeah, for sure.
He escaped and was able to get back to PA and almost got away with it until he was booked at a McDonald's, which is kind of suspicious. He had his manifesto, the ghost gun, and everything on him. 6 days later, he was Ivy Elite student, went to UPenn. What do you think about this guy? Fucking another Philadelphia crazy bull. Yeah.
So
why don't people say PA man? Niggas say Florida man.
So he's originally from Maryland. Originally from Maryland, and his family, so they're like top 1% of wealth. You know what I mean? They're super wealthy. They own country clubs. Yeah.
So they're rich?
Yeah. Mega rich. This guy is mega rich. They own country clubs. They own elderly care centers. They own all kinds of stuff. They're mega rich. So that's crazy. That's one of the things is going to be hard to understand. And then obviously he's super intelligent. You know, he got both a bachelor's and a master's degree in 4 years at Penn. That's why he was able to evade all the people and do what he did. They said he used a 3D printed ghost gun. I don't know. I think I'm really curious to see what happens of all this, because is he gonna say something then? They gave the manifesto, essentially, and you kind of know what he's about. I found his Twitter, and people are pulling up some crazy shit on that. But
yeah, he was quoting the Unabomber and shit.
Yep, Ted Kaczynski. So and Ted Kaczynski, he is incredibly smart as well. I think he used to be a former college professor. You know, if you ever read it, what he said, that's the thing. This guy's it's coming true. You know, and I don't know. I would compare him to Ted Kaczynski actually.
But did Ted Kaczynski get killed?
No, he got arrested. Yeah.
Word. Nah, I mean, this bull was very intentional. The 3 bullets he used to kill the nigga said delay, deny, dispose. And they're saying that he had family members that, died from bad health care, whatever, back in 2018 and 2017. But if he's rich as fuck, that wouldn't really matter.
Yeah, that's the thing that you don't understand. I don't really understand about it. Is he is mega rich, so he shouldn't have had any problems just paying for it. Even if he had to pay for it out of pocket, you have so much money. Unless your family abandoned you or something like that, and didn't give him any money. It's his family money, you know what I mean? But
it probably wasn't him. It was probably people he cared about, which might not have been his family. It might have been just really close friends or something. We don't know the type of motherfucker this dude was. What we do, he was very intentional. The bullets have that stuff engraved. He was able to lose the police on a city bike in fucking New York City by going through Central Park for 6 days. I want y'all to understand how crazy that is. He left a bag with Monopoly money and fucking
That's the thing. So he's eventually going to have to go into court, which is going to be probably broadcast O.J. Simpson type shit. You know what I mean? And I think that's going to be his opportunity to tell everybody what his thought. You know what I mean?
His motive was?
Yeah.
You think he knew he was going to get caught? Or you think he was trying to get some more people?
No, I don't know. It's weird. He did fuck up just by showing that one girl. He took that mask down once, and I think that really fucked him over. But, It's weird, dude. It's weird. Look at this. So this is his Twitter. This is what his header on his Twitter is. So it's a Pokemon, probably a picture of his X-ray of his back, which he had surgery on, and he always complained about back pain. But this is the Pokédex. Breloom 286. The Proverbs 286 reads, "Better is a poor man who walks in his integrity than a rich man who is crooked in his ways." So,
Bruh, I don't know.
like
Niggas might be
negative,
reaching with that.
but that is weird. Why would he put a Pokemon there?
Niggas like Pokemon.
No, but this dude he is deep like that. This guy is super intelligent. So the things that he's doing, I think, are deliberate. You know?
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
Like
that's a deep quote,
pulled
and,
up
and that fits.
That's a Bible verse. That's a Bible verse.
Exactly.
Niggas pulled up a Bible verse and was like, "That's what he meant by the Pokemon."
You don't know that, but like it's very interesting that he put those pictures there. You know, because the pictures that he had. So again, the Pokemon, an X-ray of his back, and then him just on vacation somewhere. I think it's in Hawaii where he used to live. Totally unrelated. There's got to be something behind the Pokemon. There's got to be something behind the Pokemon.
I mean, maybe it was his favorite Pokemon. Like, did y'all look up the Pokemon? Y'all niggas went straight to a Bible verse. Y'all was like, that's what it means. What the Pokemon?
But it applies. You read this shit. It applies, bro. That's what. Well, okay. If it is a coincidence, that is a damn good coincidence because it fits perfectly with his mindset and logic. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
That's true. That's true. I would say
that's why I read it because it fits.
Yeah,
what's going on?
This guy was valedictorian. He left little gimmicks and stuff. I feel like he was trying to get some more niggas. But I don't know. He got caught. What do you think about the way he got caught? He got caught at a McDonald's, where he showed a fake ID. Why the fuck are you showing ID at McDonald's?
No, he didn't show the ID at McDonald's. He showed the ID when the people at McDonald's called the cops and they asked for his ID. He gave them the fake ID.
Why did the people at McDonald's call the cops?
Because there's a $20,000+ reward for him if you call it.
Oh, okay.
or more than that at this point, even. So yeah, so they're incentivized to do that. You know, which is
why would this nigga just be at McDonald's like thugging?
So they did say he liked McDonald's. You know, he had like pictures on his stuff of him at McDonald's with like a Happy Meal, which is weird. But yeah, I don't know. It is really weird. He had all the stuff on him. You know, the gun was a ghost gun. So that's the thing. Did he plan on using it again, or why didn't you get rid of it?
Bro, it's just like this dude was highly intelligent. That's true. He was valedictorian at a Gilman school. Gilman is like
top schools,
one of the top schools in the country, if not the world. He was valedictorian there. Went to UPenn. Nigga, smart as hell, young as hell,
rich as hell.
Rich as hell. How you think he knew the drop on him that early in the morning?
You could, if you're like in the stocks and stuff, you could probably hear when they're gonna do those sort of like events. And yeah, he probably just scouted it out. You know, I don't know. Unless there's other people involved. He said he acted alone if you read his thing and all that stuff. He was self-funded, which is believable. They caught him with like a couple $1,000, $6,000.
But he also said that money isn't his. He said that they planted that.
Well, they could have planted it at all, too. You know what I mean? They could just be framing this guy. So he's not guilty yet.
Yeah, he's not. But also, that nigga's pretty much admitting, yeah, it was me, nigga. But he was like, but that's not my money. So, I think why lie about the money? You know?
Well, because maybe it's his parents' money. But he made money, too. You know what I mean? He was like an engineer and shit. So, you know, it's not like he didn't have his own money. But I'm sure they gave him his money.
What if he got hired?
What, a hitman? People say that.
Bro, what do you think about all the women on Twitter? Did you see them kind of thirsting over this guy? People saying free that nigga.
Well, a lot of people see him as a hero, and a lot of people see the person that he killed as a mass murderer. You know, the United Healthcare has a 33% denial rate, so 1 in 3 claims that you submit are going to be denied. 1 in 3 health claims are going to be denied. They say you don't need it. You know, it's wild. Like that, and like it is a problem. You know that they're doing that sort of stuff. So, and this guy, like, you can't really have too much sympathy for those sort of people. It's like, look, you're living the best life. You know what I mean? This guy gets paid $11 million a year. A year.
But
You know
also,
what I
like,
mean? So, but and he's
that's
doing
one
that,
nigga.
and he's making decisions that are, in the best. Well, he's the leader of the So
But they're
that's
just
why
a,
you strike for the head. That's what this dude did.
but there's
Yeah.
another him
Of course, I mean that's one.
already.
Yeah, exactly. It's not nothing is going to change or stop, but it's just a statement. So well, we could talk about that.
I mean,
but-
yeah, like, I mean, I did you see like all of the people kind of tucking their tails, like bringing their CEOs and CFOs, taking them off the websites and shit.
Exactly.
I'm like, that's not really gonna do anything because niggas can find if they want to find out, they can find out.
Yeah. I mean, the internet is forever, so people can easily find that stuff, and it's published everywhere. It has
Yeah,
to
it's
be published
public,
in financial documents and things like that as well for the top people. But the other thing is, like, these companies are for-profit companies. So like we're the only country in the world that's like that. Everything else,
healthcare?
healthcare wise. So that's like a problem, and their profits are soaring. They're having record year after year, and who does that come at the expense of?
The American people.
Exactly.
Like they say 20% of the economy every year goes towards medical bills. That's of every $5, one of those dollars is going towards a fucking medical bill. In the United States. That's insane. And I think that brings us to our last segment of the show. And that's shit that should fucking matter. And it's that. Like, people care about this political stuff. People care about, Jay-Z and Diddy and all this shit that doesn't matter. But shit that does matter is shit like that. And I wanted to ask you, do you think that this guy Luigi, Luigi Mario, Luigi Manganiello, whatever his name is. Do you think that what he has done is big enough to spark a change in how the healthcare system is ran? Meaning, do you think that there will be copycats? Do you think that these CEOs should be scared? Like, what do you think the future of what do you think the future is after he got away with this and almost made it look quite easy, was able to escape fucking New York City and get out to another state? What do you think the future implications of all this is, whether it's good or bad?
Yeah, to be honest with you, we kind of talked about like society's tipping point before, and I think like this is really bringing that up because it's like highlighting it to people. It's like, I mean, especially for this guy to do something like that, it's like more like a Robin Hood type dude doing it. It's like, dude, you don't need to be doing that, but you're just doing it because whatever. But yeah, I mean, if everybody's going to be poor and can't afford everything and all this stuff, I think people are going to go crazy. You're going to do wild stuff when you're back against the wall. Like, that's the thing. Like, you don't corner an animal, like it's because it's gonna attack you. You cornered it. It has no other choice but to do that to defend itself at that point. And I feel like that's how people are in a lot of ways. And when you're in moments of desperation, you'll do anything. You're desperate.
And he wasn't desperate. And
he wasn't desperate.
So I think it inspires people who are desperate to say, "Fuck it,
fuck it. I'm gonna go out. I know what I should do. It's do this because it's a huge statement. It brings it up to everybody, and like I said, yeah, these people are profiting off of death. We have 4-year less life expectancy than all those other countries that are modern and have the government health care and stuff like that. Could we easily pay for government health care? Yeah, we could, because then we wouldn't be paying all this money for this stuff that's going up at a rate higher than inflation. My deductible's like $6,000, dude. You know what I mean? That's insane. So I have to pay $6,000 before they're gonna help me with anything anyway. $6,000, god damn, bro.
Fuck
like,
is you doing?
I bet, yeah.
Fuck
It's like
happening to you?
if it's over 6,000, shit, I'm half dead, bro. Right? If it's over 6,000, I'm half dead.
Like you hanging on for dear life if it's over 6,000.
Yeah, just fucking cut the cord at that point. That's what I'm saying.
They had to come get the helicopter for you, Rob.
That's what they're charging for. So, I mean, hopefully it does change stuff. Hopefully it's like, okay, you know what, we're going to get rid of these companies. Because that's the thing, is like if you do government healthcare, you're going to eliminate all that shit. Those dudes making $11 million and more per year, these CEOs, which they have many people making that much money. Like, they're making that much money by taking your money. You know, then they're also giving dividends to the shareholders and stuff like that, which I don't really mind in most instances, but healthcare is a little bit different. Yeah. It's the only country in the world where you do that sort of stuff. And you know what they say the most profitable healthcare product is? Is Medicare Advantage.
What does that mean?
So it's Medicare is government run, you know, but they have supplemental programs that they run through private insurance, and those are actually then subsidized to the government. So they charge them like out the ass for that shit, you know. So they're like making more money off the government and stuff like that. It's all like a scam, you know. So I'm glad that the dude did what he did and brings the attention that he it's doing. Yeah, I don't care about the guy who died. I'm not gonna lie. He has the same last name as me too, but yeah, I don't give a fuck. We're not related, or I'd be rich too. No. but nah, you know.
He probably owned. His family probably owned you.
Right.
Cause I got the same last name.
No
as
doubt,
Anderson.
exactly. That's probably so. I'm
That's
glad
probably how you got.
Exactly. I'm glad you're dead, motherfucker.
I realized that like when I was in second grade, I used to be so hype. I'm like, hey, my last name the same as the milk. That's what's up. And then like once I got to college, I realized like, damn, bro, like,
that's why.
Yeah, bro, yeah, them niggas probably own me. Or my ancestors is probably on their plantation somewhere.
That's facts. Matter of fact, you're right.
Fact. But I think you're absolutely fucking right, Rob. You know, I think that this guy has inspired people to do this shit. You know, and not saying it was easy because he's obviously a very smart dude, but the fact that
the blueprint out though,
he put the blueprint out, and he's bout it, and I think that you know, Kendrick, he said he talked about this in his album To Pimp a Butterfly in the last song Mortal Man, which was like a conversation between him and Tupac supposedly, right? And he talked about how the people were gonna get tired of, you know, the inequality because there's no more middle class. It's just broke and rich, and they were gonna start to eat the wealthy and consume it. Niggas was gonna draw blood. There was gonna be death in the streets, and we saw that what could happen with a large amount of people organized around something during the George Floyd movement, during the protest in 2020. And that was during a pandemic. So niggas ain't even give a fuck. We saw it with January 6th, with another thing and a totally different group of people. And we have just seen an example of a nigga taking out somebody at the top of something that is corrupt and doing it for that very fucking reason. It wasn't just a random YN that shot a random nigga. He wanted to get him done, and he almost got away with it. So we are seeing these patterns of society starting to bubble up in America and getting ready to swallow up the mega rich. What do you think? Do you think that it stops? What do you think Trump does about this? Does he make it better or worse?
The only thing he can do to make it better is he just has to improve the economy, you know, and like, you know.
Do you think it needs to happen? Fuck Trump. Do you think it needs to happen?
Yeah, dude, yeah. You know, we're heading in a bad trajectory. I think it started with Reagan when he crushed the tax rate, you know, like, and it just spiraled out of control after that. You know, unfortunately, Trump's a big fan of that. It's like, let's reduce the tax rate for all these people. You know, you should be taxing the super wealthy people. They shouldn't be becoming, you know, richer than the government, which is what's happening right now. They're like, oh, they're asking like companies now to build like nuclear power plants instead of governments and stuff, and pretty soon like Elon.
That's why Elon's fucking.
He can buy companies. You know what I mean?
Bro.
It's crazy, and it's getting out of hand. Like people can't afford houses and stuff, and then we're not gonna be able to have kids and like. It's just gonna erode, and we're a consumer-based economy, so everything is just gonna collapse. And at that point, what do you have to live for? That's the thing. If you have nothing, then you're dangerous. Scott Galloway often says that too.
Relationships, like people aren't even getting in relationships, so you don't even got a family or nothing.
Exactly, more and more.
Automation's coming out, so you losing your job. What do you got to lose, nigga? Not shit. But, you know what? You do got something to lose, your grandma. Then your grandma needed surgery. She fell down the stairs. Them niggas not paying. She can't get it. She dies.
Crazy.
Because the hospital leaves her outside. Now what you gonna do? You gonna rob a nigga like you? Or you gonna fuck you? Go for it. You don't got nothing to live for. And while that seems like crazy, like, damn, how many people that happened to? It's happened to enough.
Oh, probably millions. Millions.
Definitely
but
millions.
That's the thing. I don't think, like, the level of people that have the intelligence to be able to pull it off type of thing, even if you're like I don't care, I'm going rogue, I'll just run at this dude and pop him. I don't care if he has security and they get me afterwards. As long as I get him, I'm good. Which is probably going to be a majority of people, right? You're not going to get many assassin-like dudes coming out there like that. Yeah. But even though he gave the blueprint, he showed this out done, ghost gun, 3D print, all that. But
this is my thing. Of the people who would be able to do it, of the people who would be motivated to do it, let's say it's 1 million. And I don't know how many it is, but
1 million motivated to do it?
Motivated to do it. Like, I want to do it. Fuck it, right?
That's a lot.
That's a lot. No. Let's say it's a... All right, let's say 500,000, right? Let's say 500,000
Killers
motivated to do it, right? They're in a position to do it. Of that, I think maybe 20,000 would have the ability to actually do it.
That's a lot. That's all.
And then of that, I think like only about maybe 100
actually
would maybe actually do it, which is a lot still.
That'd be a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why they're hiring security.
Well, let me change the numbers because that is a lot.
That's
Hold
a lot.
on, maybe 100,000 would be motivated. How many niggas do you think motivated to do it?
Would want to
would want to, yeah.
You know what I mean? But especially if you're like a sick person or something like that, you're probably pissed off, but maybe you're debilitated too.
So maybe like
this guy, he complained of
10,000
back pain and stuff like that, but he was amazingly fit. So I don't know how you can, but whatever. I guess must have been real if it motivated him this much. But
I don't think his fucking header got shit to do with it, bro. I'll be honest. I don't think the header got shit to do with it, but
no, the fact that he had the back pain and that is his back is a fact because he lived in Hawaii. They interviewed somebody that he lived with. They said that he went surfing with him one day, and just one trip surfing, he was so sore his whole body he was in bed for a week. That's the stories that they're telling on the news.
Damn. I actually knew this man. I met him when I was in Japan.
Is your home?
He's a good guy, man.
Everybody's obviously.
I don't think he did it.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? What'll happen? He has to be judged by a jury, right? So maybe they'll be like, you know what? We're gonna whatever he says. They'll be like, we're gonna let this man go, just like OJ. He did this shit, but he got away. Does it happen? Do you
think this nigga... No.
Is he OJ? Because they loved him. People love this man.
He's not going to get off.
Maybe.
Fuck no. Bro, I'll be...
That's why I told you it's going to be on TV like OJ.
Bro, he's not going to get off.
It has to be the jury. They're going to be like... I think they.
Oh, you think the
shit.
jury might be like?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, no, I don't believe it. Not reasonable doubt. Has to be beyond a reasonable doubt. I don't know. I think they could have planted it. It's too convenient. Why would he do that? He has everything to lose. He has everything in the world. I don't think it was him. I don't believe it was him. I think they framed him.
What if he's in there saying like, "I did this shit"?
Well, then of course, if he admits it, it's over. Then there's no cause for it. But what if he doesn't? What if he's like, "Nah, I'm fighting this shit. I'm OJ, motherfucker. Y'all love me."
You think he gonna fight it? He had the fucking manifesto in his backpack.
They planted it all, Tommy. They planted it on him. This man was sitting there eating his McDonald's. They pulled up. They had it in the car, and they said it's gonna be him. They looked him up online and said, "We think it's him," and they just threw it on him because he didn't have any of that on him.
No, bro.
They connected the clues. I don't believe it. Not until reasonable doubt. I'm with him. Put me in the jury, Luigi. I'm with you, bro.
This is like...
Got you.
Y'all niggas need to watch the Fight Club. Because if he can get off...
That'd be crazy. That'd be awesome, dude. That'd be amazing. Everybody would be like going crazy if that did.
You'd be happy if he got off?
A lot of people would. If you saw Twitter and most reactions, yeah, I think that'd be cool. I think it'd be cool.
You think it'd be cool so we can go out and just murder CEOs and like, fuck it. Kill that nigga. Is that cool?
This guy. At least this one. He's
Who is this nigga? What's his name?
First.
What's his name?
What?
The CEO.
His name was Brian Thompson. He's like 50 years old.
So they just killed a fit. How long have United Healthcare been doing this shit?
They turned it up a notch. I think Trump changed something which let him like rapid it up a little bit more, and he was part of it, making the decisions. I don't know. They picked him.
I'm just saying, man.
You know, if you look at their profit margins and stuff like that, like that shouldn't be something that goes up that high, and you know, but it's like, oh, we have to keep rising our profit margins, grow 6% every year. It's like, what? And how do you do that? By just charging everybody more money.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, they have nothing. They don't really have a choice. It's a monopoly, essentially. Of course, there's multiple health care companies, but we're all doing the same shit. It's price fixed. Haha. Motherfuckers. And it is. It's like, oh, that's supposedly not legal, but if I pick my insurance, they all cost the same damn amount. Every fucking thing of them. You know, very few differences. You know? And it's like, well, just pick the name you want. It's like, okay.
They're all buddies.
It seems like it. You know, it's like, all right, we're going to raise it, you're going to raise it. I'm like, I got to. You know,
I gotta compete.
I got it, yeah, with the profit margin, because I made money last year, you know.
Yeah. Who would invest with me if I didn't get profit? It all goes back to the investors. They owe that to their investors.
Exactly. And who owns most of stocks is, you know, top 10%.
The CEOs.
Well, CEOs definitely own a lot. Yep. Sometimes they get paid in it. Probably not him because of the company's older, but usually companies that pay you in stock are like young companies, like tech companies and stuff like that, because they don't really have the cash.
Yeah.
So they're going to pay you in stock, you know what I mean? And it just helps attract talent in certain instances, or like Google, NVIDIA type stuff.
Do you think that CEOs will change their...
No.
No.
It really is going to come down to...
What if another one happens next
the
year?
government, because the government enabled them, and the government's going to have to rein it in, you know? Because the government reined it in before. What was FDR or whoever did that shit? You know, when they came out with the New Deal, tax rate was like 90%, you know, and our country thrived then, because it's like, our tax rate is 90%. These people are still uber wealthy beyond belief. You know, it's just that they weren't, they were probably like, you know, 2,500 times more wealthy than you instead of 1 million.
Type shit.
You know what I mean? It's like, damn, 2,500, that's a lot more wealthy than most, you know what I mean? Now it's like they're, you know, it's like you're 2,500 times more wealthy than the average person, or you're 1 million times wealthier than the average person. It's like, that's crazy.
Yeah, look at Elon.
Well, exactly. It's like just Elon, Bezos, Zuckerberg, Bill Gates.
Literally, Elon alone
it's over $1 trillion.
Is worth more.
5 people. Well,
Alone is worth more than probably if you take out celebrities, the entire West Coast, like of just average niggas.
Well, no, if you take out just celebrities, but you're talking about the mega rich, like people like Larry Ellison. But is he West Coast? He has houses all over the fucking world. You know what I mean? But he lives there, but he's not a celebrity. He's a business person.
If you take out people over 1 million, take out all.
Yeah, if you take out if you're just looking at poor people.
Oh no,
and they have to add up to it. They're not even gonna get to 1 million because they're so poor. You know what I mean?
If you take out, fuck yeah.
That's why the variance
when
kills
do you get
it.
To mega rich?
That's why it kills it. What
How much money is mega rich to you?
Well,
100 million.
I think I don't know because if you're counting it down, is what you're saying. Like what is the threshold?
Yeah, like 50 million and under, you count them. That nigga Elon probably still worth more than the entire West Coast.
Oh yeah, definitely, dude, definitely.
That's crazy.
I mean, he's such an outlier. He's like 0.000. I mean, he's the number one guy. he is. You know what I mean? Whatever the divisor is, he is that one.
Yeah, he's the
one over whatever. Yeah. So yeah, of the entire world, not just the country either. You're talking about the country, right?
Yeah.
So that's the entire world. He's
that nigga.
He's over that big number, over 1 billion. He's over $1 billion. So.
He can buy a country.
He could if he wanted it. If they would sell it to him.
Why not? He probably would.
I don't know. I don't think there's no real value in that unless it was like a country with a lot of like raw materials or something like that. You know.
Just to have one, bro. He bought Twitter.
You can buy islands and stuff in yours. You know,
he already got islands.
Yeah, he doesn't exactly. He doesn't care about that stuff. He'll buy companies and buying a country is a lot different because then you got to run the government and all that stuff, and you'd have to reform it.
He just put Trump there. He let Trump be the president.
He's doing the U.S. and I think Trump's
Trump. This is how Trump do it. Trump make us super allies with the country, and then after Trump's done, because Trump's done with this Trump, he just put him as president there, and he makes the country inside Texas. San Marino's a country inside Italy. It could happen.
I think they already said that Elon was actually building his own city in Texas, though.
And that's now a country.
Nah, but there's no value in that for him, I think. But the city thing, I think, there, you know, because then you're incorporated with the United States. Like, you don't want your own country. Like, what if you need a military or something like that? It's like
you're good. We subsidize it because it's inside of Texas. Nobody can attack us. You attack us, you attacking America.
I don't think the U.S. would not allow that. Because then he'd have to fight the U.S. for it. You know what I mean?
Trump.
Nah, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think he could grant that. I don't think he'd be like, Elon. This is Elon's country. Texas is Elon's now.
No, not all of Texas, just his city.
Yeah, fucking get it all.
Like Luxembourg.
Small city.
But yeah, you got any last, parting thoughts for the people?
Yeah, just I did like that quote there is like, just try to be a person of integrity, you know what I mean? Even if you do have a lot of money and things like that is like,
Snipe a nigga. That's basically what he said.
No, that's not what I'm saying. It's like, it's more for like the CEO type of people. Is like, if you do have a lot of money, just be grateful for what you have because you have so much more than everybody else. And,
you don't think this guy was grateful?
No, because he needed more and more and more and kept pushing it. You know what I mean? He should be like, you know what? People need to say, I don't need I'm getting paid way too much for the job that I'm doing. You know what I mean? And the facts are, yeah, you are. Because he's so easily replaceable. He didn't do nothing. You know what I mean? These decisions that they're making are so easy, especially now with AI.
So what? Am I supposed to not take the paycheck?
With AI. Well,
what is my measly like? I'm getting $2 million more. Y'all niggas want billions released.
In that industry,
bro?
Yes. If you're in the healthcare industry, yes. First, that's why the government needs to step in. It needs to be regulated. It's like, no, you can't increase your profit margins by this much. No, you cannot pay a dividend. That's not even a fucking option for you. There's no need to pay a dividend. You
Yeah,
know,
that's
even though,
crazy.
you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
crazy.
You're paying a dividend off of these people's back, the poor. That's what your dividend is, and it's giving it to the rich who own stocks because poor people don't have them. That's fucked up,
Yeah.
my opinion.
So you think that healthcare needs to be taken off the stock market and just be an ETF?
Yeah, it's a ETF. I mean, it's just the same thing. It's just
Yeah, yeah, I know.
you
But
know what I mean?
take it off the stock market
It's well, it would
altogether.
be
Or?
essentially like the companies almost would be dissolved, you know, but you would still need to administer the healthcare system. So some of those people could be involved in that. But I mean, those companies could, if you, I think Obama even said that why he didn't go the full government route was because what would happen to those companies and all the jobs that they are.
What jobs?
United Healthcare, how many people do they employ? Aetna, combined hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people.
Them niggas can now work for the government.
Exactly, they all would be, especially if you.
You already work for the government, basically.
Especially if you, you know, if it's under one company, then you're duplicating all the. Right now, there's 5 of them, or whatever. So you have to have each accounting, each blah blah blah. But if they're only one, then you only have one. That one unit of each of that. So let me see. United Health. This company alone, United Health, how many employees do they have? Just this one?
Almost 500,000.
Okay. So what happens if you get rid of that?
Bro, that's tough.
I know.
You can find another job.
Well, exactly, and that's what I mean. People would have to do.
Hey, you know, the other day it said it was 440,000 employees, but the other day was 440,000 more.
CVS owns.
And they killed that nigga.
Aetna. They have 300,000 employees, which isn't that many considering, but
that's almost 1 million.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but United Healthcare does a lot more than just the insurance stuff too. So yeah, I mean that's combined. You're at about 1 million.
Well, you can just make healthcare a part of taxes. Like, I'm paying taxes and like. I mean, like, damn, what are we paying taxes for if we don't get
that's the thing. That's why like people are like, oh, you got to pay taxes and stuff. It's like I'd rather pay it in taxes. It'll be cheaper overall because we're all collectively paying. You're like, I don't want to pay for anybody else. But yeah, but then when you do have to pay, you got a $6,000 deductible, so it's all out of pocket anyway. You know what I mean? So you're getting nothing. You're getting literally nothing, and you have to pay for it. I still have to pay every month just to have the opportunity to pay that $6,000. That's crazy, right? Isn't that crazy? That's how it is, dude. I gotta pay every month just for that opportunity to pay that $6,000 and hope I don't have to. You know what I mean? Crazy. You know?
That's funny. That nigga pay every month to go 6,000 in the ride anyway.
Right, but unless I get like a surgery or something, and then they're covering some for me, but. I still gotta pay a shit ton. But Tommy, he's laughing. You're gonna be in that same boat soon. So, you know, I think you got to at least 26 is your max on the parents.
I'm taking it all, bro. I'm about to turn 24 in less than a month. So, yeah. And no, in about 30 days. 30 days from now. So, yeah, man. 2 left. I'm about to get the fuck out of Dodge, because niggas is killing CEOs. And that is a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. You made it this far. We appreciate you. And, you know, he's an Ohio State fan. Are y'all in the playoffs?
Yeah, no. Of course we're in the playoffs. Yes, we are. We're in the playoffs. Play Tennessee, first game. Should be a dub. You know what I mean? We got talent. We got to right the track. I think the loss motivates. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. But let us know your opinions on everything that has happened in the comments. Let y'all know if y'all like these new formats of, you know, posting the clips in each one. Follow us on Instagram, all that stuff. It's going to be in the description of this video. We appreciate y'all. and we'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.